And we are live here in the Mini Mutations mini broadcast studio, and I have Futureman here all the way from Bellingham. How's it going?
It's been pretty good.
Yeah. And you're going to do a couple readings for us, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to read some old newspaper articles.
Nice.
From Emergence newspaper.
Nice.
A fine newspaper. Full of all real news.
Nice. And is this a Bellingham paper?
Yeah, this is a paper that I publish and edit with a variety of different contributors.
Cool.
But it's something that I put together and kind of has. It's a little bit about. It's all real, all real news, and it's about music and art and.
Absolutely.
Zen ramblings and nature.
Yeah, I love it.
Tiny things and huge things.
Cool. Well, it's probably good to hear a couple of these. So
yeah. Sure.
This is Futureman here, and this is Mid-Valley Mutations.
Moments of transition. Spring is here, and the mood has been alive with the premature celebration of summer. Lots of people have been saying, "It feels like summer," provoking us to ask the question of what spring actually feels like and why so many people don't feel it when we're in it. Let's try to be patient here, people. I'm sure there's some great saying that applies here about living for today before wishing for tomorrow. Maybe you know one to write in here. And I did this kind of cute thing where you could write in a saying about that.
A couple of blank lines.
Yeah, and you could write the person who you're quoting and the years that they were extant or other relevant info.
Nice.
And then it continues. Perhaps the reason that the feeling of spring is so hard to pin down is that its transitional nature is one of its most distinctive qualities and always keeps us wigging at attempts to make any big plans. And thus, the day's mission is often found undefinable. Though the sunny/rainy days make for an uncertain agenda, it's important to remember that the chance of rainbow sightings is also at its highest in the spring. Spring, like its transitional season counterpart, fall, has action built into its name, whereas to summer or to winter only passively act as verbs, connoting the time spent verbing in some other way. To spring literally describes a movement outward from the source. Perhaps in emerging from winter and seeking stability, it's easy to yearn for the feeling of summer, moving from one stable climatic occurrence to another. However, if your geographic location puts you off of the equator by more than single-digit degrees, that's just not how nature works, and you're in for a lot more adventurous outgrowth before you're able to lay back in the static dream time of summer.
Nice. I like that. That's very good. You got one more?
Yeah, I'll just go for the next one. This is kind of a continuation about spring.
Sure. It's in the air.
The life-death cycle. Outside of our offices, there is a magnolia tree, which is in the throes of full spring extravagance, but whose petals fall as soon as they bloom. It seems that this friend is trapped in a perpetual state of life and death. While simultaneous experiences of life and death are commonplace in the insect world, oftentimes being consumed by their mates amidst copulation or otherwise dying upon spreading their genetic material, it seems much less common in the plant world, and this has been a fantastic spectacle to observe. For the sake of full disclosure, this tree doesn't actually seem to be dying and is actually in great health and really fun to climb. The neighbors recently put a jumbo hammock up and will shout in through the window to say hello. It's quite nice.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. And have you been writing zines for a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've done, I did a bunch of zines for a while, just kind of personal, I guess more philosophical.
Sure.
Ramblings, and then I started a publishing company, Neoglyphic Media,
right.
And I started publishing other people's comics mostly.
And you guys are out of the alternative library in Bellingham, which is an incredible place in and of itself.
Yeah. So I'm the director of the alternative library also. I don't know if you do. I started it about 11 years ago, a little over 11 years ago, and then kind of this publishing practice
kind of grew out of that.
Yeah,
that's
when
so
I was
cool.
seeing so many amazing things that people were doing and wanting to help facilitate bringing them into the world.
It is hard to turn that down because, I mean, I don't know if this is the case for you, but like I meet people constantly who are amazing writers, poets, photographers, and I keep thinking like, we got to make a book.
Right.
You know? And
Yeah.
so you did it.
Totally, yeah. This is kind of, it's been a while since I published a new one of these, but I'm trying to make it a quarterly practice.
Nice.
Just to kind of, and it was for a while, and that felt really good.
Yeah.
And to kind of be in line with the seasons and vibe on that.
That is, I mean, there's something about that too where it helps mark time. Like if you don't put something out, then like a whole 3 months goes by, and then 6 months, and then a year, and then what did you do?
Yeah. This is a really great way for me to kind of. It's almost like a paper version of a blog.
Yeah, for sure.
Where I'm just kind of putting out whatever is fascinating to me in the moment.
Yeah.
And then and yeah, it's a really good way for me to see kind of how. It's a good way for me to sort of track my own experiences and also make a record of things that are happening around me that maybe seem profound in a moment, but then so that I don't forget them, I try and actually bring them out into the physical world.
We got to capture those things because they do kind of float away if we don't.
Yeah.
It's so neat to meet people who are doing this because, I mean, especially at events like this where it's so sound driven. Like, I mean, zines now, I think, are one of the last places where you have full creative control to put almost anything you want into it.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get like other band members coming in saying like, I don't know about the drum solo or something like that.
Yeah. You can really do anything with the zine. This thing has taken on a kind of a collaborative nature at different times. Right now, I'm basically I'm the driving force of it. So
nice.
When it comes out, it's because I want it to come out.
And that's a good thing. It's like if you had to do it more often, that would feel like work.
Right.
So very cool. Well, thank you so much for dropping in and reading a couple.
Sure.
I'll trade some zines here for you because I brought a few
cool.
myself.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, we got Futureman here, Mid-Valley Mutations, and this might be the end of the night. We'll see.
Right on.
Take care.